So we're talking about the Republican Jewish coalition, and they had their big event here at the Gaylord Convention Center. Haha, just kidding. Don't know that it was there. But here's Lindsey Graham. Here's Lindsey Graham
Their
taking the
preferred
stage.
venue.
Not a Jew. Not a Jew.
They were
Lindsey
having
Graham.
the Glory Hole Convention
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
Gaylord Center.
Yeah. But Lindsey Graham was there to make his speech. I'm not Jewish myself. I've had 35 Jewish gentlemen in my day, I will say.
I did love a Jewish boy in prep school.
36 if you count Buck Angel. He had
I used
some
to call
parts.
it my little matzo ball.
He built different than the rest of them. He had something down there. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. I said, boy, what you got on you?
When they took that skin off you?
Yeah, exactly. So here's Lindsey Graham. Here's Lindsey Graham talking about how happy he is with the state of America. He feels really good about where we are because we're killing all the right people. We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II. Wow.
Oh. He said, hey, so he's a great president. If you don't believe me, just ask him. What happened with me and him was we found common ground. I've come to like him and he likes him, and that changed our entire relationship. But he did the Golan Heights thing. Remember, Ron? He said, I called him up, where you at? I'm with BB on the Golan Heights. He said, I didn't know we were in New York. No, that's another Golan Heights. We're over there. He recognized the Golan Heights by tweet because he understood you can't give it back to Syria because they'll use it to kill you. He recognized Jerusalem as capital of Israel. Why? Because if you got a problem with that, take it up with God. He's the guy that did it, not Trump. So I just want to say, I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes. Trump is my favorite president. We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II.
Well, there you go.
Wow, man.
No matter who you vote for, you get John McCain's daddy dom. That's what I tweeted out. Yeah. That's it, right? Look at that. Look at that. We're killing all the right people, and we're cutting your taxes.
We ran out of bombs.
Wow. We ran out of bombs. The peace president ran out of bombs.
Wow. Now, you know, my friend and associate Keaton Weiss sometimes been called a black-pilled misanthrope for his view that this country doesn't deserve not to collapse. But imagine you're not American and you're watching what's going on in this country overall, and then you hear that.
Right.
Like, why would you not pray every day for America to collapse so that the world might have a chance at peace? When you've got leaders, high-ranking, prominent leaders. That guy, Lindsey Graham, this is not a backbencher going up on a stage, giddy about running out of bombs. That a country like that, it is very dangerous for that country to have power. That is a country that it's not just arrogant. It's gone mad. Like America's gone mad. Trump just had a party with dancing girls at the same exact time that people are about to lose their food benefits.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if that is not a country that has fallen into such decadence that it does not deserve to continue in a position of power and leadership. And unfortunately, yeah, man, that sounds very black-pilled or very cruel, because a lot of people who don't deserve it are going to suffer the consequences of that collapse. At the same time, you got to understand, a lot of people who don't deserve it are suffering from our power, from our having this kind of power.
Of course. Of course. So it's difficult to be shocked in this world anymore, but a sitting U.S. senator gleefully speaking about killing all the right people is shockingly evil and disturbing. How the president can support this man is baffling. Oh, that baffling? Is that right? Is that
Have you
right?
seen the president?
Well, the president really came to Lindsey Graham, and that's what Lindsey Graham was talking about in that speech, right? And to this guy's point, Trump to attend Graham fundraiser in first midterm campaign appearance. The first major endorsement that Trump made of the midterm cycle was Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham had, I believe, 4 primary challengers, and there's at least one of them whose name I don't remember. I had it. I think it's Mark Haynes or something like that. He is primarying him from the right as a true MAGA guy, as the America First guy, whereas Lindsey Graham is the flip-flopping neocon. Did Trump endorse one of those primary challengers? No. Trump's first major endorsement of this cycle, Lindsey Graham, the neocon of all neocons, the guy who was trashing him back in 2016.
Right.
Trump wants the primary Thomas Massey out of office, but he wants to defend Lindsey Graham, the guy who just gleefully boasted that we've run out of bombs. That's your peace president, right? I mean, you talk about a betrayal of what you ran on. I mean, nothing says it better than that. But hey, Lindsey Graham says the quiet part out loud once again. Says, if you ever run for office as a Republican and you embrace this weird shit, we're going to beat your brains out. Meaning weird shit like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, America First shit.
Really clear, I'm in the Hitler sucks wing of the Republican Party. What is this Hitler shit? I don't know. Anyway. Here's what I do.
It's kind of funny to imagine where that could have sprung up. Like, where could this level of it's so funny. Like, they out of the one side of their mouth, they will gleefully brag about running out of bombs, killing people, and then they'll say, "But hey, where'd all this hatred come from in our party? Why is there all this hatred? What's all this racism about?"
You know, you can sit in a basement with weird people and say weird things. It's a free country, right? But if you ever run for office as a Republican and you embrace this weird shit, we're going to beat your brains out.
Really weird, because didn't you essentially say that to and about Donald Trump in 2016? That he was so far beyond the pale in this fascistic and white nationalist direction that, we can never support him. Lindsey Graham said in 2016 that if Trump is the nominee, we're going to have to decide we love our country more than we hate Hillary Clinton. He suggested in 2016 that he would vote for Hillary over Trump for the nominee. Now, he caved like everybody did when he became the nominee. But that's what Lindsey Graham was saying 9 years ago. That's what he was saying 9 years ago. So all this bullshit about how, well, you'll never get a foothold in our great party, talking to this guy. You said the same thing about Donald Trump. This guy just, he just sucks up to... He is just a whore for power. That is all this guy is and ever was. And now, Trump has bombed enough people to, be in his good graces.
If you're an anti-Semite and you think because somebody loves Israel, their brain is wired, that means you got a brain. Nothing wrong with your brain. We will meet you on the battlefield of political discourse, and we will beat you politically.
Doing a little damage control there. You just threatened to beat people's brains out. Yep. But that's Lindsey Graham, and it tells you a lot that Donald Trump going to bat for Lindsey Graham, who they now are on the same page as having bombed all the right people to the point where they ran out of bombs. He's a happy man. That's your peace president right there, everybody.
Yeah, well, you make a good point. Like, you look at a guy like Lindsey Graham, and they have very much been reared on the idea that America beat the fascists. And as many people will point out, we didn't so much beat the fascists as we absorbed the fascists, literally in many cases. Operation Paperclip, our whole rocket program was run by Werner von Braun, a Nazi. So we actually absorbed a lot of that into our intelligence services, Operation Gladio, left behind operations in Europe. And but the idea that we are inherently opposed to Nazis is, I believe, still a belief of Lindsey Graham's. But if the beliefs of your party are essentially fascist, and they are essentially, you know, fuck the weak, fuck the poor, the strong should survive, you essentially have a fascist ideology and you promote that across decades. Eventually, you're going to hit a point where certain people within your party want to rehabilitate the Nazis, because you kind of have to if you want to go full Nazi, right? Like, you have to dismantle that inhibition about things that have that aesthetic or too obviously evocative of that. Eventually, you're going to have to take on this idea that the Nazis were bad.
Right.
And that's where people like Darryl Cooper come in. And that's why they're being elevated. He's there to give some kind. You can't get any real historian with credentials to do that, right? You got to get a crackpot fed to go out and basically start to dismantle the idea that the Nazis were bad. A guy like Lindsey Graham, he doesn't realize, well, this is where your politics logically led. Like, where did you think it was going to end up? Of course it was going to end up with Nazi apologia.
Please clap.